Yo, yo, what up? My name is Johnny, and this is live with Johnny. We're gonna get started here in just a second. We on a few different platforms. If you see me, you hear me, tap in. So let's get going. And we're gonna get started here in just a second. Flip it up a little bit. My name is Johnny, and this is live with Johnny. We're gonna get started here in just a second. How's everybody doing? Hello, your people. We're on the air. Johnny live. Okay, let's get started. All right, y'all. My name is Johnny. This is live with Johnny. And we're going to talk, y'all, because it was some things that happened today. And it's just crazy. And we got to talk about it. Okay, so one of the major news stories for the day is Kirk, Charlie Kirk, which was, he's a conservative podcast, I believe. Podcasting is one of his, there's a few things that he does. One of the things is podcasting. One of the things he does that is very strange is he be going on campuses and like arguing with kids and they stream it live. Like this is a 35-year-old man and he going to colleges and basically arguing with the kids. So now that I think about it, and they stream it. So kind of what they're doing is they're trying to doctrinate these kids because they know like a lot of kids when they go to college, their mind is not yet formed. And I think a majority of kids become um, Democrats. Majority of college kids become Democrats because they, I guess for a long time they say like the professors, maybe the professors be um, liberal and they be teaching these kids liberal. That's what they assume. But I know I went to college and like my professors would never. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't shape in my mind about anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I made up my mind. I was who I was by the time I got to college. So I don't necessarily know how they got that, but for some reason they feel like college kids are mainly Democrats, and so for them to keep and hold on to power, then their thing would be to go to colleges, have these. debates. And by having these debates, then you can get other college kids and kids who want to go to college already a Republican before they step in the foot in college, and people who are college, they want to turn a demographic. And I'm saying this to get to a point. They want to change all that around. So in my opinion, that's why he was going. And when he get into these debates with these kids, like he's a professor damn near, and they're the kids like asking questions like one he was yelling at this girl about a baby, and she was like, I don't want to have a baby right now, I want to finish school. He's like, no, you need to have that baby. And you know all of that goes back to, we ain't even gonna get into all that, but that goes back to like them wanting to make sure that the world be populated with as much as what they call pure breed as possible. You know what I'm saying? They talk about that, and they talk about poison in the blood and all that stuff like that. Like this is on their mind right now. It was in the presidential race. Trump talked about it a lot. And so when y'all hear that, y'all might not understand that because that's not your way of talking. You don't know like the blood, like Hitler used that type of language. I'm not calling nobody Hitler, but this language has been used. He didn't just put it out the air. When you talk about the poison in the blood of a country, you're talking about nationalism. Damn near that. I don't know what I can't sugarcoat it. You're talking about nationalism. You're talking about supremacy, white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So all that goes into that as power packed all into that, And so he's going to colleges, and like I said, I thought about it, and it's like he was really indoctrinating these kids, and to some, for even for traditional like college people who know college to be one way, they like this is the way college should be, opposed to you having somebody go argue with kids trying to get them to think one way. Like some people would, I could see taking offense to that. An ex professor, anybody. I'm not saying it's right, but like when you start doing things that are unethical, then people don't like that. And you can see like Trump right now is going to Harvard, like stopping. He's trying to take over Harvard and how they get kids in there. Obama went to Harvard. And so I think to me it's like he's trying to burn those bridges so we can't get no another black person to get in college and to get president. I'm like, oh no, no. Like, yeah, if you're a white person, you have no clue. Like you don't I don't even think it has been proven. They don't even understand racism because it's not something you have to deal with every day. Y'all play with it. Y'all see if we say so specifically point out to y'all what you did was racist, your defense is like, whatever gets sticks to me, sticks off of you, glue, you're racist. Like, huh? Do you understand what it just goes over your head? Y'all don't understand it because you never had to deal with it on a daily basis. We have to deal with it on a daily basis. And so if we went through life and we just wrote down everything that was racist, because a lot of us get a lot of it depending on how we look and how we feel. A lot of us get it throughout the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we sit there and wrote it down, like y'all would really you would be really be numb to it because you'd be like we complaining. But it's the way life is. It's always the way life has been in America. You know what I'm saying? So um that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't understand it to say any other way. So um this man was going to these colleges and he was just like whatever Trump was for, he was for. Him and Trump was together since Trump's first, and I didn't know that. They said their relationship go back all the way to Trump's first presidency. And so then Trump lost, and he went on the radio spewing hate and probably lies. And he made most of his money when Trump was running for president last time because they was going in on Kamala Harris as a black lady, as a black woman. It was going in on the calling her stupid, all that. Trump was this guy, so I can imagine when Trump lost, they was like, "Oh, bro," I can only imagine. So Um, that's who he was. Like, I'm not saying that not even nearly close to saying what happened, because it could happen to anybody, and that's not good. Martin Luther King had it happen, and I think one of the dudes in the my comments are like, man, this ain't Martin Luther King. We ain't worried about that, but we never dealt with that. So y'all just sweep our stuff under the rug. And here's Martin Luther King was talking about peace and love. This man was talking about peace and love for everybody and equalism. He was taking us back. So yeah, this is what you have to understand. Like, and again, they won't see it. If you put it in their face and say, "Listen, this is," I'm gonna play this video, and what they're doing now is they're trying to erase our history and put people in that position, because this is gonna be like the next Martin Luther King. He gonna be like Martin Luther King to them. Basically, he was gonna be Martin Luther King to them. And then that's crazy. And then this lady on the subway is gonna be like Rosa Parks. And if you think I'm lying, I want to play this video for y'all and who he compares this lady to. Just take a listen. This is insane. In audio that has been released from jail, and it's not good. Multiple angles have now been released of the senseless and racist murder of Irina Zarutska on a Charlotte, North Carolina train, and this is way worse than anything that ever happened to Rosa Parks. Being told to move to the back of the bus is nothing in comparison to being. So now we got Martin Luther King and we got Rosa Parks. Being stabbed in the neck from behind on public transportation simply for being white. Even worse, after Irina was stabbed and fell to the floor, no one did anything to help her. As this evil, yes, evil man, not mentally ill, we'll get to that in a second, evil man walked the train with her blood. Have they ever had a news broadcast when it was a white man that said he wasn't mentally deranged, he was evil? How do we know what he was? We don't. They making, and that's what makes it so, they making judgments on everything before anything even happened. Anything comes out, they making judgments. He compared her to her. He said this is worse than what happened to Rosa Parks. So automatically in their mind, Rosa Parks has been wiped away. That legacy's been wiped away because they're gonna only focus on this. This is what they're gonna tell their kids happened in 2025. That's why we need black people. That's why we need to police more black people. And listen to what he listen. I want y'all all to watch when it happened. And like you said, when dude got shot today, his neck exploded. That blood squirted out. In this video, I don't see no blood. If she had her neck cut, she looked up. If she had her neck cut, how could she look up like that and blood not squirt out everywhere, all on her hands? And there was no blood. And then she just kind of passed away, or I'm sorry, passed down into the seat. I'm not saying that this is not real, but it just don't seem real. It would seem like it'd be some type of blood, and then she fall down her seat. And then I look on the seat and I see something red. Was that her blood pack? Did she forget her blood pack? Watch, y'all. Of Irina Zarutska on a Charlotte, North Carolina train, and this is way worse than anything that ever happened to Rosa Parks. Being told to look, move no to the blood back of the bus is nothing in comparison to being stabbed in the neck from behind on public transportation simply for being white. Even worse. How do he know what? Irina was stabbed and fell. How do he know? How do he know that when his girl? How does he know that when his girlfriend? I mean, how does he know that girl wasn't his girlfriend? Like, how are you making all these assumptions and that he's evil and he could have been mentally and he could have snapped. And he said just for simply for being white. If we haven't caught him yet, how do we know what he did it for? He could have did it for money. Y'all gotta start watching this stuff. Did anything to help her as this evil, yes, evil man, not mentally ill. We'll get to that. I have never in my life been in a situation where something happened to me or somebody around and black people didn't help. especially if they white. Black people gonna go out of their way to help a white person more than they're gonna help a black. This is not real. Stuff. It don't happen like this.
Man walked the train with her blood dripping down, bragging that he got that white girl. This man.
Who does that? Who goes around and say, "Yeah, I got that white girl"? With blood dripping. Dudes will be trying to knock his ass out. Like, bro, you tripping. This is not real, bro. Y'all, come on, man. Got to do better. We got to start calling this stuff out.